Hi guys, this is my top 10 F1 races as a sort of celebration of Formula 1 meeting its 1000th Grand Prix. Now I did a video before of doing 1996 to the present day, so I thought I'd split it up a bit because there's loads of Grand Prix that you could pick from. And I've gone from 96 to 71 on this one, which was hard choice again, especially since that was before my time, so it was difficult to find the right races to choose. So I'm going to go through them and from 10 to 1, and we'll see if you agree or not. 1992 Monaco. Now Mansell was in the all dominant Williams with their active suspension, and they were dominant that season completely. But Mansell got a puncher during the Grand Prix. He was 30 seconds ahead. He got a puncher, forced him into another pit stop, which put him behind Ayrton Senna. Now, Senna and Monaco is like a marriage. It's like the beautiful marriage. He's absolutely dominant there. He got ahead of Mansell because of his pit stop, and Mansell with the fresher tyres and the better car was all over him, literally all over his gearbox. But because it's Monaco in the tight streets, he couldn't get past, and he held him for another 3 laps, I believe 3, 4 laps of these two great drivers fighting it out in the streets of Monaco. And Senna went on to win his 4th straight Monaco Grand Prix, which would then turn into his 5th straight Grand Prix 1993 and 6 in total. So, yeah, number 9, 1976 Japanese Grand Prix. Lauda stops after lap 1 because of the rain. He believes it was too dangerous to race, so he stopped after the first lap, which then meant Hunt just needs to finish 3rd to win the title. But he was looking champion-elect, then caught because the track started drying out. His tyres blistered and delaminated, so he had to pit for a new set, and which left him so much faster, but down his 6th with 3 laps to go, and he fought his way up from 6th to the position he needed, which was 3rd, to be able to win the World Championship by 1 point. And Lauda, though he lost the championship, he had no regrets over what he decided to do that race. 1976 Italian Grand Prix. Lauda returns after a near fatal accident at the Nürburgring, which nearly killed him. And he has a poor start to the Grand Prix, and people saying it really should, during the race, should he really be back? But he fights back to 4th place to keep his championship hopes alive, especially since Hunt retired in that race. So an unbelievable achievement after what he's been through and what he had to get through to get back there. 1984 Monaco Grand Prix. Senna arrives in Formula 1. He's driving for Tolman. The car was not designed to win a race, ever. But because it's Monaco and it's the wet, it levels the playing field out a little bit more. And Senna was on another level. He started, I believe, 14th, or got up to 14th at the start of the race. Fought his way up, all the way up the grid. Past Lauda even in the McLaren, who'd actually go on to win the championship that year. Fought his way up to 2nd. He was 3 seconds a lap faster at one point than the leader, Alain Prost. Alain Prost was waving to get the race stopped. The race then was stopped about 2 laps later, and Senna finished 2nd. If it carried on for any longer, Senna would have won the race, without a doubt, because he was that much faster. Just underlining, obviously, the talents of Ayrton Senna. 1994 Australia. Controversy in this Grand Prix. It's the title decided between Schumacher and Hill, and Schumacher is in the lead, After his pit stop, I believe he has a mistake. He hits the wall, which leaves the door wide open for Damon Hill. Damon Hill dives up the inside. Schumacher cuts him off, tries to shut the door, and gets launched into the barrier. Now, because he's hit Damon Hill's suspension is then broken. I think it's the wishbone that broke, which meant that Schumacher, being ahead in the championship, won the championship. And everyone debated from then on, did Schumacher do that on purpose and cheat, or was it a general racing accident? I think 97 proved it more when Schumacher deliberately tried to take out Jack Villeneuve. 1971, Italy. Now, I don't know too much about this race apart from the ending, really, because this was before Formula One was broadcast live for every Grand Prix. That won't happen until 1976. But I do see a clip of it at the end of the Grand Prix. You had the last lap. You had Peter Gethin, Haldon Ganley, Ronnie Peterson, Francois Xavier, Harewood, all them together all had a chance of winning it on the last lap. And it was one of the closest finishes in Formula One. And an absolute epic end to a Grand Prix. 1987 British Grand Prix. Mansell versus Piquet. Mansell Mania, you name it. Mansell had to decided to do an extra pit stop, which put him 29 seconds behind Nelson Piquet. He then went on to do, I believe, 11 fastest laps in concession, breaking the record, track record, 11 times in order to catch Piquet up. He caught him up, and I think with about a few laps to go, made his move count and made it count, and won the British Grand Prix, which then sent the British crowd into a frenzy. 1996 Monaco. This stands for the record for the fewest number of cars ever to finish a Grand Prix. I believe it was three drivers that finished that. Three drivers that finished that Grand Prix. Yes, there was one that was classified fourth, but it was a lap down. Schumacher went out, I think, after lap 1 or 2. All the big names went out, which left the Ligier of Olivier Panis to score his only win, and Ligier's only win in Formula One. But he, out of the race of attrition, he was the one who kept it out of the barriers. So good on him. Number 2, I go with 1991 Brazil. Senna's first win at home, and it was an emotional one after several laps of being stuck in 6th gear, which was the top gear of the cars at the time. People still wonder how did he do that. But after the race, you could see he was physically broken to try and win that Grand Prix after being denied for so long. Spasms all the time, everywhere. Struggling to lift the trophy, do the celebration with the champagne bottle. But you could see how much it meant to him and how much it meant to Brazil, because he was idolised as Brazil's folk hero, role model, because of what he did for charity in Brazil. So yeah, an absolute epic drive again by Ayrton Senna. 1986 Australia. Mansell, Prost, Piquet are all in the title hunt. This is my best Grand Prix out of this time. It's a three-way title fight. Mansell, about halfway through the Grand Prix, or coming up to the end of the Grand Prix, he's in the championship winning position he needs. The tyre blows. Mansell luck, the tyre blows, which cost him the championship. And apparently he was told in the ceremony, if he actually hit the wall, the race would have been stopped. Because he tried to keep out the barrier. The race would have been stopped if he hit the wall. He wouldn't have won the championship. apparently. So yeah, but Piquet also had to make a pit stop under precaution by Williams to make sure it doesn't happen to him, because obviously he was Mansell's teammate, which led to Prost securing his second title in succession. And you could see he was pushing, because when he finished the race, he stopped immediately because he ran out of fuel. So yeah, that's my top 10 F1 races from 1971 to 1996. There's a lot to choose from, a lot of difficulty trying to choose them. But let me know what you think. Do you agree or disagree with any of them? Is there any ones that I should have considered? Yeah, let me know. Leave it in the comments below. And yeah, subscribe if you like the content and hit a like if you do. So uh, please leave those comments below and I'll try and answer them. So yeah, I'll speak to you guys soon.